Hello golden, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, thanks for joining. In today's video I'm taking you guys through commercial baking of bread in Ghana. This is a bakery that bakes tea bread, corn bread, wheat bread, yellow bread, and so many other bread. So stay tuned and enjoy as I take you through the process in a commercial bakery. First of all, this bakery is owned by a woman. She has a lot of workers assisting to make the work efficient and effective. So therefore, this makes her work goes easier and faster to allow her to supply to her customers on time. This is a commercial baking. So the measurements used for baking are standard. They use 2 sacks of wheat flour for tea bread. That's the quantity they will use for a day. And 1 sack weighs 52 kilograms. So they know the measurement of yeast and margarine that is going to tally with the flour. At this point, he's adding the yeast, and he added 5 tablespoons of yeast. And he proceeds to operate the machine for the machine to mix the flour and the other ingredients to combine them beautifully. He goes ahead to scoop some of the margarine. He eyeballed it as usual and then added it. And mostly when preparing tea bread, they add less margarine, less sugar, so that it can taste very nice and flavorful. So he continues to control the machine. This is how it looks like. Very smooth. It has combined beautifully. He then scoops it out and takes it to the roller. The roller is operated by different men in the bakery. Every man or every worker has his section, but he goes ahead to help because the work must go faster. Begin to roll the dough into a very smooth consistency. They do that for the yellow bread, for the tea bread, and for the sugar bread. And then another worker takes it to the cutting room where they design the bread, mold the bread, leave it there for it to rise. And then when they are done baking, they take the bread back to the same room. So guys, this is the yellow bread. Very smooth. It looks attractive. You feel like taking to eat. So he's taking it to the molding room, and this is how they mold the bread. Guys, this looks difficult, but it is very easy. And even in this video, they've made it very easy for you to do. And if you look at it, it is going to be fun to do. So first of all, they mold the yellow bread. That's what is available for now. So they mold the yellow bread and then proceed to do the other bread. The yellow bread is in small quantities. And in this section of the video, other workers are in to assist in molding the bread. And every worker knows what he or she is doing, or he or she has to do to make the work very faster and make the process very productive. So we go ahead to take the molded bread into the baking tin. And guys, on the day of baking, another woman oils the baking sheet and puts it in the state so that when they begin to arrange it in the baking sheet, everything goes faster. After they arrange it in the baking sheet in an organized way so that carrying will be very easy. and then they move it to put it at the floor where they allow the bread to rise. I thought they have a counter, but they put it in the floor, so they make sure the room is not in a disorganized manner. And guys, for the sugar bread, there is a decoration on top of the sugar bread that most sugar bread has, and this is how it is done. It is rolled in a thin form and then tied into a knot and then kept on the bread to beautify the bread. And I mostly see that on bread. I didn't know that this is what they do. It is amazing to know that it is a different technique. I thought they had to cut the bread in a design form to get the knot on top. So whilst they are knotting the designed ones, the other worker is putting it on top, and this is how they put it on top. So easy, no skills added. You just put it under the bread, carry it, and put it in the baking tin, and voila, you are good to go. I love these ones. They are very attractive, and I'm hoping to see how they are going to turn out. So after we take the bread and then lay or arrange it on the floor, they also have counters where they put the bread. They don't always put it down. There are shelves, they put the bread there. And guys, that section is going to be full with bread. So guys, this is the baking sheet, organized and ready for use. This is where they keep the baking sheet, so when they need it, they just go for it and then proceed to arrange their bread dough into the baking sheet without difficulties. So guys, at this point of the video, they are molding the sugar bread, the white one. The first one they molded was yellow bread, and the difference between this particular bread and the yellow one is the yellow one, they add color yellow to it, food coloring yellow, to enhance the color of the bread. And the white one, and guys, I love the white one. The white one is delicious. I do not really like the yellow one. If I'm to take the yellow one, I will take the back of the bread, the crust of the bread. That's the favorite part of the bread that I like. But mostly when I'm buying bread, I buy tea bread. I love tea bread. So I enjoyed the process. We all decided to put our hand inside and give it a helping hand, and things went easier and faster. So guys, for the tea bread, they divide the bread into pieces, and this is how they mold the tea bread. Very easy. The beginning phase is just like the way they mold the sugar bread. You just roll it and make sure it long to the desirable size and length, and then you just throw it aside and then arrange it on the baking board. That's the baking board, not baking sheet, and allow it to rise, because we do not bake tea bread on baking sheet. We bake tea bread on an aluminum sheet instead of the baking tin. So guys, for the oven, the wood or the sticks are arranged inside the oven. We are going to burn the oven in the morning. So at this moment, they've already burned the oven and they've removed all the fire out, and the oven is very hot for us to begin the baking process. They began the baking process by baking the tea bread. That's what they bake first before they proceed to baking the butter bread and finalize it in baking the yellow and sugar bread. So it's the following day and the bread has risen beautifully. Guys, I was surprised at the rate the bread can rise. I didn't know it could rise that much because I thought they didn't cover it with an aluminium film or cling film or rubber, so it is going to take time to rise, but everything rose beautifully. And they are stacking the tea bread into the oven so that it will bake. And as you can see in the oven, they are baking it on an aluminium sheet. She's turning to see if it's ready, and if it's ready, they just begin to remove it. And guys, they remove the bread with a long metallic rod, and they turn the bread with a wood. And trust me, the oven is very hot. They are sitting there comfortably, but the oven is very, very hot. I got near the oven and then I felt the heat. So guys, in my honest opinion, I think you guys should respect whatever work your neighbor or people are doing out there. It isn't easy, so respect them so that you can equally be blessed by whatever blessings that comes along with it. At this point, she's removing the bread. The bread is ready. It doesn't take much time for the bread to be cooked, and trust me, the oven is still hot, but there is a way they quicken the heat if the heat is going down. So the process of removing the bread is to pull the bread forward with the rod, and then they use their bare hands to take the bread to the board, and then other women carries the bread to the room. That's the routine there. Everybody knows what he or she is to do. And these are the tea bread. It has risen beautifully, and I love the sizes. If you love bread, comment in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up if you've watched till this point of the video, and comment down below what type of bread do you like. Yellow bread, tea bread, sugar bread, butter bread, wheat bread. Comment down below what type of bread you love. I love tea bread. I can't do without tea bread. I love bread in general. After tea bread, I love butter bread. And the butter bread, I love the buttery ones, not the plain ones. So comment down below and let me know the type of bread you do consume. So guys, for quickening up the heat or restoring the heat in the oven, they go to fetch the fire that they left outside to make the oven more. They fetch it and put it at the edge of the oven and cover, and then continue to bake. And immediately they put fire, it just warms up quickly because the oven doesn't cool down completely. And this is a section of the butter bread. Before we bake the butter bread, we have to cover the tin so that the bread doesn't overrise, because butter bread comes with a particular shape, and without that shape, that bread isn't called butter bread. In Ghana, when we say butter bread, we are expecting to see something different. We are expecting to see a rectangular shaped bread. When we say sugar bread, we are expecting to see a rectangular shaped bread with a puffy top. When we say tea bread, we are expecting to see a long flat bread with a brown skin or a white skin. So every bread has a form. I don't know for your country. Comment down below, how does your various bread comes out in? Does it comes out like Ghana's own? Because Ghana's bread, I love the shapes of each bread that we consume. So guys, when the tea bread is ready, a car comes to pick it out. The delivery man comes to pick the bread, deliver it to the customers around the neighborhood, around the vicinity, delivers it to customers afar, because their bread goes very far. Their bread is not only located inside Dormaa Ahenkro, it goes to the border towns around Dormaa Ahenkro. So that is what was happening, or that is what is happening. The cars are taking it to their various customers. As we finish baking the tea bread, we proceed in baking the butter bread. That's the next bread. The butter bread takes a while to get cooked. Unlike the tea bread and the sugar bread, it takes a while to get cooked. You guys, for the timing for the process from mixing to rolling to molding to baking comes in this form. At 3 p.m. in the evening, all the workers come together. They mix the bread, they roll the bread, they mold the bread, and they close and go to sleep. In the morning at 4 a.m., they come together again and bake the bread. But the burning process is different. They mostly burn the oven earlier than the baking time because it takes time for all the wood to finish burning before they start to bake. So they do that around 12 or 1. Someone volunteers, someone comes to do the burning so that the ladies can come at 4 a.m. to start baking. This is hectic, really hectic, and I respect them for that. So guys, the butter bread is ready. That was my favorite part of the baking. I just love the size of the butter bread. Guys, isn't this beautiful? Isn't this cute? And this size is 10 cedis. I bought one. It was amazing. It was delicious. The butter bread is ready and it's not easy to remove that. It is taken out of the oven and another worker uses a napkin. With the help of a napkin, brings out the bread, removes the cover of the tin and then turns the bread out. And then another worker comes to arrange the bread on the board. It seems butter bread has a lot of work. So guys, when you are baking butter bread, make it delicious because the work that comes into butter bread is amazing. And it's worth it because butter bread are mostly delicious. So guys, that's what they are doing. I'm happy because I am seeing butter bread being removed from the oven. And frankly speaking, on that day, I was so happy. I was so privileged to be part of this process. Just seeing big butter bread was amazing. In Ghana, we mostly buy butter bread when we are traveling from wherever we are to Accra, passing Koforidua. We buy a bread called beef Forster, and that's the sizes of beef Forster. I don't see regular bread in town as this big, which is butter bread. I see that for sugar bread, but I don't usually see that for butter bread. So seeing this for the first time made me so happy and I couldn't wait to go home and eat my bread. And again, trust me guys, the bread was hot. I decided to go and help to arrange the bread. But even when they remove it out of the baking tin, it is hot when you are trying to arrange it on the baking trays. It is very hot. Nothing there is easy. Everything there is difficult to do. It requires a lot of work. These workers are putting their heart, they are putting their all into what they are doing. So give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Be positive in the comment section and no hate comments. If your bread, the area for baking your bread in your vicinity or in your country is neat. We are in Ghana. We are in a developing country, for crying out loud, and we are trying to grow gradually. And this is what we do, and we are eating this same food, and we are strong and healthy. And for black man, Black people, our immune system are huge. So I can't say for your country, I am talking for my country. No hate in the comment section. Don't say this is dirty or that has done this. At the end of the day, it is food and we are going to enjoy our food. Take something positive out of this video and enjoy your day with it. So guys, the sugar bread is ready and they're about to bake it. It hasn't entered the oven, but it's time for the sugar bread to be baked. And before the sugar bread goes into the oven, they take a blade and then they cut the top of the sugar bread to give it that beautiful design you mostly see on Ghanaian sugar bread. This is basically how it is done. I don't know for your bakery, but this particular bakery, this is what they use. They use blade. They buy a new blade, wash it and then clean it and then begin to design the bread with this. And I love the design. There is something soothing and beautiful about seeing fresh dough that has risen and has been designed. It's so satisfying. Guys, am I the only one? Don't mind the house flies. We deal with house flies in Ghana. That is basically what we deal with. Any food, the house flies wants us to invite them. Even they are not invited, but they come around. But it is what it is. We can't stop that. We can't change that. Our place is full of bugs, but we can control it. But this morning, we've not controlled it. So if you see house flies sitting on the dough, I'm sorry for polluting your eyes. So guys, the sugar bread is ready. And this is the removal process. It is done similarly as the butter bread. It is taken out and then removed and then arranged. That's the same process, but the butter bread is quite difficult because sometimes the bottom of the bread attaches to the baking tin and it makes removal very hard. So the sugar bread makes it easy. The sugar bread is very easy. You just throw, remove, throw, remove. That's basically what the women are doing. As you can see, they are using the wood, the stick, to pull the bread out and then put it down on the baking tray. And the deeper ones, the ones inside the oven, there is a long metallic rod that is used to pull it out for them to come out easier. Wow, guys, as you can see, the bread is mesmerizing and I love the sight. I love the view of the bread, and that design was the design they made earlier with the blade. Isn't this lovely? Isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this lovely? Guys, check. Isn't this lovely? I loved it. I loved it. I really loved it. So guys, this is the room I said earlier. This is the room where they arrange the bread, where they keep the bread. After the delivery men have sent it to the various destination, other women who carries to sell come and take what they want, and they are done. So the baking goes on whilst that is happening. So before they finish baking, almost half of the bread is gone, and then they wait for the others to go, and now they clean the area, or they come together, take their pay, and then they leave and come that evening to continue or repeat the process. So guys, this section are women who clean, who dust the baking tins. They clean it. So the bread you are eating from this section is a neat bread. As you can see, they are dusting. They don't go and repeat the process with a dirty baking tin. They dust it, they clean it. You can't wash it. No. If you want to wash it, fine, but I don't think washing is advisable. They just dust it, but you can do the washing maybe once in a month or once in 2 months, whatever you choose. So they are dusting. After dusting, they are going to layer the pan with margarine, and then they arrange it in the baking room for baking the following day. After everything, after arranging the wools back into the oven and quenching the fire, they take a clay, mix it with water, and then clean the oven. And I learned this is done to avoid breakage. The oven may break because of the consistency of heat that comes on a daily basis. Because they are always using it, it may break, and immediately it breaks, repairing becomes very difficult. So they prefer to always clean the oven with a film of clay in a watery consistency, so that it will look brand new, it will still look good, it will still look strong, it would tighten the old ones and still maintain its beauty. So that is basically what they are doing. As you can see, it looks very neat, it looks clean, and this is tedious, guys. Cleaning your oven every day with clay, the hot oven, is tedious because the oven is not going to get cooled now. No. Aside that, you are doing that for 3 ovens at the area, because this is a commercial bakery and they need a lot of oven. They even have electric oven to assist them when the bread has a problem or they need helping hand. This looks easy on camera, but nothing is easy. They are used to it, so they work faster, but it isn't easy. It comes with a lot of body pains. It comes with a lot of dedication, and kudos to the CEO of this bakery, the woman who had the idea to start something like this, because it has created employment for about 30 people. And these are not only her workers. She used to have workers earlier before these ones came, and this has created opportunity for these people to get something little into their pocket to take care of themselves on a daily basis. So guys, kudos to the CEO of this. If that dream of becoming a baker was killed, or she hadn't motivated herself to do it, I don't think these girls would be working here now. Probably they would be starving. Probably they'll be somewhere which will be paying less, or somewhere they do not like. So I appreciate that someone has started something to help create employment for somebody somewhere you don't know. And guys, for those of you out there who want to start something for yourself, anything you want to do has challenges, has issues, has the good side and the bad side. I just want to motivate you guys to not give up on your dream. Being an entrepreneur isn't really regarded here in Ghana. There is a lot of experience you would always remember. So it doesn't matter whether you're in the government sector or the private sector, start something for yourself. So you guys, that is the end of today's video. This is what goes into commercial baking. You can't copy their recipe because they've been doing this quite a long time. I didn't even film the mixture for the sugar bread and the butter bread because when I came they had finished. But you can copy their recipe, but I'll try my best and film another video where they measure each bread accurately with measurement. But in this video, this is what goes into it. I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs button. Don't forget to comment down below the type of bread you want. Don't forget to recommend this video by sharing to your friends and family. I love you, and remember that determination always paves way where there seems to be no way. I love you, and until next time.